Right folks, just a quick video on this old beat up old table that I'm using for a workbench under this space what I'm using. Little area of around the side of my house that I've got for my woodworking. You've probably seen this in the videos. It's a mess, but it's a solid 40 millimeter stave beech top, which I can use for now. It'll come in useful. I just want to make it a bit more practical. I'm going to be cutting French doors into there because behind there is where my other part of my workshop's going to be. So that'll be ideal. And that wall that's green is going to be painted white. I've had the ceiling done already, and obviously my rack. So I'm getting there. That's my neighbour's wall, so I can't put anything on that wall. I've got really good neighbours, so I don't want to offend them by sort of doing stuff. The floor needs doing. Any suggestions on what I should do with this floor, please let me know, because I haven't got a clue. It's all uneven, you can see there. I mean, this area of the house around the side has always needed sort of doing up, but today I'm just concentrating on this table that I'm using as a bench. It was something I made about 10 years ago, believe it or not, and it's been battered and abused. We've used it for all various type things, so I thought I'll use it for this. So I'm just going to mark out here. I'm going to try and make this as functional as I can as and when. So at the moment, what I want to do is just add some dog holes in it, 20 millimeter dog holes. So I'm just going to mark some out here. I'm not doing like the 96 millimeter this and whatever you see all these YouTubers doing. And other people. I just want a useful, practical table. And for us lot that work in sheds and garages, this is all we need. What we've got, we use. It's as simple as that. Don't have to cost a lot of money to do it. I mean, look at the state of this table. That's a big burn mark there that's in the middle there. There's paint splattered all over it. It's been battered and abused. So I still want to use it, but I want it to look nice. I want this area to look nice to come out and work in. There's nothing worse than working in an area that looks scruffy. And it's been long overdue. Now I'm working more from home. I can spend time doing bits and pieces in my house. And this, I'm going to be working here, doing my woodwork. So this is the first bit. But let me show you this table. So I'm just marking out with a speed square here, best as I can. Nothing's got to be massively perfect. As you can see there, I used the bottom of it for storage for sort of 4x2s there. So I'm punching out here just to get it for me drill. But look at the state of that tabletop. Oh my word. So like I said on my previous videos, I'm fascinated where everybody's from. So please drop me a comment where you're all from. And what sort of videos you want me to see doing and making, just drop me a comment. So here we are. It's all marked out. How accurate is it? I don't know. I'm not a carpenter or a joiner or whatever. I'm just a hobbyist woodworker. There's my dog, my little dog there. Look at him, thinking he can escape. Yeah, he knows. I'm onto him. Right, so here we go. I'm using a 20 millimeter spade bit here, which goes through this like a hot knife through butter. I could have used a drill stand press thing, whatever, but not really needed for what I need. Just mess everywhere. So I'll just try and keep on top of the mess here, hoovering it up. This shop vac I've got, a DeWalt one, I actually bought it from Costco. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. I bought it off my own back. It's a brilliant bit of kit. I'll try and do a bit of a review at some point. So if you're in a Costco and they've got them wherever you are, just pick one up. I think it cost me about £65 or something like that. Right, so them dog holes, I'm just going to round over the tops of them just to tidy them up, neaten them up, and, you know, my little aluminium dogs that I've got to go in here will sit in there nicely. This table's been bugging me for a good couple of weeks now, just coming out and looking at it, especially that big burn mark. I don't know what burnt it, I've no idea. Maybe it's one of the kids that have done it and not told me. Mind you, they'll never own up to anything. You know what kids are like. Now, how I've got paint on it, I do not know, because I had it covered over and I painted the ceiling above me there. I had this covered over with a tarpaulin, plastic sheeting type thing, and it's still paint got on it. What I tend to do is turn it off when I pull it out, just to out of them dog holes. I don't want it catching as I'm using it, so now I'm just going round the complete edges of it just to soften the edges over a little bit. Now I'm gonna give it a good sand. I'm gonna use 3 grits on this. I'm starting off with an 80 grit here to get the bulk of the crap off. Then I'm gonna go over it with a 120 and then a 180, and that should be enough sanding for this. I don't want it. It's a work table. It's gonna get battered and it's gonna get a lot of abuse, a lot of banging and clanging. But I just want to tidy it up. This sander, if you can save up and get one, do get one. I do recommend you try to get one of these. It's a Max T off Amazon, 150mm orbital sander. Right, so I'm using here a Morel Spirit Base stain. For penetration, this is really good stuff. I'm in a well ventilated area here, so I don't need a mask really, but you know, to the side of me there, it's open. So I'm using a microfiber cloth to apply this. I have given it a good wipe down, dust off, blow off, whatever. Just look how easy that is to apply. No, it soaks it in. You know, this is going to need 2, maybe 3 coats of this. Just get into them dog holes as much as you can. Just a nice little addition to your bench. Just add a few dog holes and you can pick up the little aluminium or metal dogs quite cheap off, eBay, or if you want to spend more money, there's companies out there that sell really good quality stuff. Just going over it here. I thought I'd have a go at the staining today. Shelley normally does it. Right, in between coats, I'm using this Miles Craft sand plane. Another really good company that I've found that make sort of really inexpensive tools that are decent quality, really good quality, really. I'm happy I found these. This is the first time I'm using them. I bought a few tools, which you'll be seeing them over, the next couple of weeks, months, years, me using them, and I'll let you know how they are. But this little sander here, hand plane, is just a good size to fit in your hand. You can use a block, but this has got like the Velcro strip on it, so it just sticks nicely. Now I'm just giving that a wipe over now, getting all the residue off that. Now that's the first coat. You can see how it's gone, and it looks a mess. This is why it needs a couple of coats. Actually, in my opinion, it's worse than what it was when I started. But never mind, we'll get there. I've got a thing about dust. I hate dust. So here we go. Can't wait to apply this second coat. So it's had a sand down. It's sort of denibbed. The first coat raised the grain slightly, so give it that sand back. It'll make it nice and smooth. And there you go. This coat, as you can see there, is going on a lot better. So after this coat, what I'll do again is I'll give it another quick sand back, just sort of denib it again, make sure there's no like little bits and pieces in there that have landed on it, airborne bits. So it's been sanded over there. It's had 2 coats. It's had 2 coats of the stain. Now I'm using this hard wax oil, a German brand called Olinatura, which, because basically this is in the outside area, this is a good product to use. Really hard wearing. So I'm using one of Shelley's favourite brushes here, these round brushes. I'm old school. If it were me, I'd just use a chip brush, but she's told me to use one of these. But look at how that's just knocked that up now. It's just bringing that right out. So I'm glad I've done this with this, really, because it's just shown me something when I'm, making other bits of furniture with a combination of that stained beech and the hard wax oil. Just look at that, how that's bringing that up. Don't look in the dog holes, I've missed them, but never mind. It's a work table. So this will get 2 coats of this as well, and I'll denib in between the 2 coats. I'm not going to bore you with a second coat, but I'll just showing you how I apply this. Right, this is it finished. It's slightly still a bit tacky here, and it looks a bit patchy, but it must be the camera angle. It looks better than what it does actually on the video. I wish I could video it a bit better. But it looks a little bit shinier. Overnight, that'll dumb down a bit because it's like an off satin, this oil. But anyway, thanks for watching. Any suggestions, give us a shout, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.